Hey guys, yeah, I know I look absolutely insane right now. I accidentally plucked my eyebrows wrong and I tried to trim my bangs and I cut them too short. I cut them too short. I don't know what's going on. I'm in like my alt era, I guess. I have been laying low, but your girl wants to make a video today. So I don't really have a choice but to film with my bangs. But my bangs are not as important as the topic in today's video. I'm going to be reading people's tax confessions because it's tax season, of course. What better thing to do than to read these stories about taxes? Let's get into this first confession. I've gotten over $1,000 in tax refunds for the past 3 years, and I never tell my mom so I can spend it all on myself. I'm planning to do the same thing again next year. No regrets. I left my husband 3 years ago. We've been planning on getting a divorce ever since I was unemployed for about a year afterwards, but my husband makes a lot. So to file taxes faster, we file together, and my half is always about $1,000. I've never gotten that much back. I would have divorced him years ago. I want that more than I want the money. It's just that I live with my mom and she knows I have any substantial amount of money, she'll try and coerce me into spending it. I'm sorry guys, I'm really distracted by the way my bangs look right now. Just don't even look at like the video of this, just listen to the sound. I'm a mess. Just don't even look at me. Please, look away, look away. I know I need to lay low, I know. Anyways, if I don't hoard it, my mom will think twice about paying one of her bills, knowing full well I'll have money to bail her out when something gets shut off or the collectors come calling. She'll ask me to order Chinese for us, knowing I will because if I don't, I'll end up having to go to the grocery store and then cook when I get home. At least if I have money, I can get something cheap just for myself when I'm out. If I'm not hungry, she can't convince me to get anything. She won't leave the gas empty if she thinks I don't have enough to fill it even a quarter of the way. If she knew how much I'd had, she'd expect a full tank. My half of the divorce is about $150, and if she knows I have even that much, she'll try and convince me to put it off. I have no problem telling her to f off, but she'll just leave me in a position where I have no choice, then not even offer to pay me back. I always tell her I only made enough to get me less than $100 and that it's already gone. I can't use the money for anything worthwhile. I wouldn't be able to explain how I could afford it, and if she ever talks to my husband, he's going to let it slip and I'll have to deal with her trying to guilt me out of it. Impossible, because I feel absolutely no guilt whatsoever, and I have nowhere I can go. I won't have to come right back and deal with her passive-aggressive bullshit. Next year, I'm telling her that I've been saving up and will get my divorce first thing, pay off as much debt as I can, and keep the rest of my savings. I just hope nothing catastrophic happens that'll make it so I have to fess up that I have it and then spend it to keep from being worse off. You need to get a job and put your mom in a nursing home. Just call the nursing home on her and take her away. Because why is she so against you saving any money whatsoever? That's not normal. I think she just wants your money and she wants you to spend your money on her, and she only cares about money. Also, who's getting that much in their return? If you are getting $1,000 in your tax return and you don't have children, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand and tell me why. Because I owed $600 and I got $9 back. $9? But I already had to pay $17 to file. You can just keep the $9. Like, what? Don't offend me. I am so offended I never want to talk to free tax ever again. Fuck you. Okay? Fuck your taxes. Fuck you. I'm never paying again. Anyways, just plot on your mom to get her in the nursing home. That would be a good start. That's my advice. That's my take. Dislike if you dislike and like if you like. I was supposed to help my client do her taxes. It's been a month and she's still waiting for something that's not coming. I work a nonprofit that helps addictive drug users by giving them supplies, case management, services, etc. Anyways, I was talking about doing my own taxes and this client overheard me talking about it. She asked me to help her and I don't know why in the world I agreed. The word yes just blurted out of my mouth. The craziest thing is that she's one of the crazy clients that has anger issues. She spent 20 minutes screaming at customer services one time over a locked phone, and it was probably her fault. Either way, it's been about a month. She comes in every day asking me if her check is here, that her baby daddy is dependent on it, and I just tell her it's in the mail or it's coming. I'm not usually a bad person or a liar. I don't know how I let this thing get out of hand. This anger issue lady could probably go to jail because of you. So depending on how actually crazy and mean she is, depends on what you should do in this situation. If she's absolutely horrible, then I don't know, just keep lying, I guess. But if she's actually not that bad and maybe you over-exaggerate a little bit on her caringness, you should just do her taxes for her and keep the money. Don't actually do that. Don't actually do that. I don't know, just get her to pay you. Just tell her like, oh, it was $80. They charged me $80. So I need $80 and then you made like $40 extra or something, like, you know, you made a little extra money. Not $40, I don't know what I'm saying. You made a little extra money just to do her taxes. Or just because like if you tell her you didn't do them and you've been lying to her, she's gonna get really mad at you and she could blow up in your face. So you just have to do it. You just have to do them. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Someone please tell me it's really not that bad, please. Like, I've been trying to fix them this whole time while I'm filming and it just doesn't look right. It's not sitting right at all. It keeps parting. I'm just gonna read the next story. Just keep not looking at me, guys. Keep looking away. I'm 43 and I've never filed any taxes. No regrets, believe it or not, but I wasn't even aware that such a thing as filing taxes existed until my 30s. How were you not aware of that? I kind of learned about it in school. You never learned about it in high school? Part of the reason is because I'm on the spectrum and live in my own world. Sounds like an excuse. As my ex likes to say, I'm awkwardly out of touch with a lot of mundane things simply because my narrow beam focus doesn't capture them. Another part of the reason is that nobody ever mentioned to me that you are supposed to file taxes. Not my teachers, not my parents, nobody in my admittedly small circle of friends and coworkers. There are no excuses, I know, just explanations. I don't know, sound like you're making excuses to me. When I first found out, I panicked. I tried to inform myself, but the information was so opaque and confusing. The procedure was so convoluted that I panicked even more. After a while, I just shut down and said, enough of this. I'm going to go back to doing something productive again. Life is too short to poison your head with stress. And what are taxes used for anyhow? For pointless wars and bank bailouts. Then I procrastinated, and this is how I got here. A 43-year-old freelance software developer who has never filed taxes and doesn't regret it, because no one should never regret not wasting time on boring bullshit when one could be coding. Yes, I'm immature, but so what? If I get caught, I get caught. If I take a big hit financially, so be it. I have few material needs anyhow. You should probably delete this before the IRS finds you. Or this is an IRS agent trying to get people in the comment section down below to admit that they're also tax evasion. Either way, I need to know your situation because one, if you're already getting taxes taken out of your paycheck every single time you get paid, you are losing money by not filing. Two, if you are tax exempt and you are not getting taxes removed out of your paycheck, you need to lay low and never file because you're probably going to go to jail. 3, delete this post now. This was 8 years ago. They're probably in jail already. And my last thing that I wanted to say is, how did you, like, most people start working in the age range of like 16 to like 24 when they get their first job. How did you work that whole time for possibly like 10 plus or less years without your coworkers mentioning anything about taxes to you? That doesn't make any sense, because literally when you start a job, they literally ask if you want to be tax exempt, if you want to put 0, 1, or 2 on the thing, if you want that amount taken out of your taxes. They literally ask you when you're doing paperwork for a new job. How did you not know? Either way, you're kind of and you just need to flee the country. Like, never come back. Ever, ever, ever. I'm going to move on because that is not my life and I don't need to stress out over it. I think I'm gonna do one final story for you guys today. And remember, if you have a tax confession that you would like me to read for everyone to listen, there is a link in my description below. And you can give me your story so I can have unique stories to share and I don't have to read stories that are like 10 years old or scour the internet for stories that other people have read already. We could do new stories, and I want to hear all about your taxes, okay? Tell me everything. Link in description, you guys. Here's the last story. I lied to my coworker about being Jewish, and now she pays me to do her taxes. Nowadays, it's really not a good thing to be Jewish. You need to cancel yourself immediately. Just cancel yourself. Are you lying about being Jewish and you're not actually Jewish though? I don't know. I just know now is a really bad time to be Jewish. Okay? No regrets. A bit of backstory: I'm a non-practicing Catholic working a standard 9-to-5 office job that I'd rather not get into since it doesn't add to the story. A long time ago, a new woman started working at the office and she was going around getting to know everybody and she seemed lovely. But turns out she was a bit religiously ignorant. Well, so am I, because I don't know what non-practicing Catholic is. I always said Catholic. It looked like the word alcoholic to me. I think I'm dyslexic, because what was that? Anyways, she was a devoted Christian who didn't have much knowledge on other religions other than stereotypes. So one day she was talking about religion and asked me what religion I was, and I sarcastically said, "I'm Jewish," thinking she'd pick up on the sarcasm, but instead she said, "Oh, you must be good with money." I don't know the stereotype. What is she talking about? I didn't know that Jewish people are good with money. I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe this is a back in the day thing. I'm a little too young to understand. Doesn't say how old they were, but this was really old. And she was serious, so I decided to play along as a joke. Weeks go on and she asked me about my people and our ways. She tells me that all she knows about us is that we're greedy and good with money. Got one thing right. Eventually, she asked me to help her do her taxes, and I felt like I was in too deep with the joke to say I'm not actually Jewish. So I told her I would. So I helped her with her taxes. I'm not even that good at doing them, but she didn't ask questions and assumed everything I did was correct. And she paid me and asked me to do it annually for her, and I said I would. So now my coworker thinks I'm Jewish and I'm being paid to do her taxes for her. Not well, I may add. I guess this is what happens when you let a joke go too far. First of all, get that money and raise your rates every single year. Second of all, you could have just said that, yeah, you're Jewish, but you're not good with money. Like, she stereotyped you so hard and you went along with it and didn't undo the stereotyping. Third of all, I would actually like an update on that story to see if you actually went through to do her taxes every single year for her, and if it was hard or easy and how much money you made. Link in description, you guys. Link in description. Anyways, that's the end of my video for this week. If you did your taxes this year, please subscribe. And if you've ever done your taxes in your life, please subscribe. Thank you again for 100 million. And I'll probably do a part 2 next week. I'm not really sure what category of stuff I want to do. I do have more tax stories picked out though. So let me know if you'd like to see more, or don't let me know. Don't. Do or don't. Anyways, part 2 next week, and part 3 will only happen when we reach 500 million subscribers. Okay, we have to reach 500 million or else there will be no part 3. Do you understand? Do you understand?